feel kind of ridiculous with this shirt on, and also I hate the material. It feels like one of those scratchy material, and I'm just like, also, who loves my new necklace? It's a sword. Actually, I need to put my ring on. This is like a little plug for my friend. It's a bat wing. Can you see it? If you want this cool necklace or ring, I have the link to my friend's shop that she had opened. It's so cute. I love it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are here with a September wrap up and October TBR video. Probably like the only consistent video I have on my channel. It's like the only thing I really upload. This month was not a great month, I'm not gonna lie. I really thought it was gonna be such a great month of reading, but I feel like October might be a great month as well as November. Maybe, we'll see what happens. I only read 2 books in September, but I do have a really great selection for October, so I'm excited for you guys to see what I'm going to be reading for that. 2 of these books are fantasy books. I just haven't really felt like reading any like romance or anything. I do want to read a bit more thriller. I just don't have any right now. I can get some on Kindle Unlimited or on my Kindle. Does that mean I break my book buying ban? I don't know. But anyways, let's just get right into this video because you guys know the drill. You guys know what this kind of video is. The first book that I read for the month is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I actually picked this book up this book came out around January, Feb. I had started reading the book because I was like, yes, I'm so happy I finally get my hands on this book. Like, I want to read it right away. And so I started reading it, and I think I got like 3 chapters in and I just wasn't in the mood for it anymore. And so I put the book down. I picked it back up in September, but then put it down again because I was reading some other books. But then I picked it back up and I just read it. I don't know why I waited so long to read this book. This book is about our female main character, Peyton, who lives in the kingdom of Ilya. And there are 2 sides. There are the elites who have these powers, any kind of powers you can think of, invisibility, fire, water, avatar freaking powers, whatever, and a whole bunch of other ones. There's like so many range of powers. And then you have the ordinaries who don't have any powers, and the elites think that the ordinaries have a disease that kind of weakens their powers, so they kill off the ordinaries. Anyone that's an ordinary, you're gone. Peyton is an ordinary, but Peyton pretends that she has powers. She pretends that she can like read people. But then you have Kai, who is a prince, right? And he is an elite. He's able to like use other people's powers. He doesn't really have his own. It's just like, but every year for I think the past like 6 years, there have been these trials that a bunch of elites go into that get picked to be in them, and they go up against each other to be able to win. But Peter gets picked after something that happens. I'm not going to say what, because I want you to find that out for yourself. Alongside the prince Kai, who, by the way, they are both enemies. Not gonna say too much because I just want you guys to go on this a bit blind and just read the book, because it is so freaking good. This is a 5-star book. I loved it so much. The enemies to lovers, mwah. There's like so much tension. Look how this is actually floppy. Any book I really buy from like Dimmicks isn't like floppy at all, and this one is. Like, I can't crack the spine. I love Kai and Peyton so much. I love the side characters. I hate a lot of characters in this book as well. There's really annoying characters that I just want to jump into the book and just... I'm so proud of Lauren for being able to publish her book and also being able to be with a publisher. I love seeing the book in the bookstore. I'm just like, that's her. This book, or this series, is actually a trilogy. 3 books that I'm going to be scared of. First book, by the end of it, very scared. I knew something was going to happen, but at the same time I didn't want it to happen. Very excited for the next book. I love if just all 3 books just get better one after the other. Her writing as well is amazing, and the quotes in this book, chef's kiss. Love it. Last book that I read, I'm still currently reading, being a bit slow with it, but I will finish it today. But I already know what I'm gonna rate it because there's not much after the book, so I'm like, yeah, okay. If you didn't know and you haven't watched my other videos where I literally talk about this series and what I'm doing with these books non-stop, so if this is the first video you've seen by me, you are lucky that you don't really see me talk a lot about the book. If it's not and you're annoyed by me talking about it, sorry. I am doing a reread of not the whole series, just the books that I haven't read in the US editions, because I'm annotating and rereading the books that I haven't annotated yet. So I've got this one, 3rd one, and I've only got 3 books that I need to annotate, and then I can read the last book. This is the 2nd or 3rd book. However, whatever order you guys read it in, this is the second book for me. And this follows after Throne of Glass. Not much actually happens in this book. I'm not going to say what it's about because then it'll spoil the first book. But I am rating this book a 3 stars. Definitely not like a 2-star or anything. I don't hate the book. I like it. It's just not a favorite of mine. I'm not gonna lie, it is a whole bunch of like nothing in the book, but it's entertaining because I love Selena and I love Dorian and I love Fleetfoot. We don't really talk about Kale. There are a couple things wrong in this book that I feel like SJM just kind of decided to switch. I don't know if it was just the setup for the third book and just to have this like pointless romance that feels very forced and a friendship that's not really there, which I'm so freaking sad about because I wanted to see more of the trio, but I didn't realize how much we actually don't really get them in this book. I think there's only been like 2 scenes where the trio has been together and that's it. It is fun though to go back and reread and pick up like little foreshadowing in this book and just be able to tab it. When you go back and reread, you see it and you're just like, how did I not pick up on that? That is what I read in September. Now I'm gonna get onto the books that I want to read for October. I have a really great selection. I feel like I'm very excited to read these books. I don't have I don't have any romance. The first book that I want to read is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. I remember when this book was popular. Like, I think it was popular for like just a little while and then it kind of went off Book Talk. And I just never picked it up because I wasn't really intrigued that much. I didn't realize there was actually 2 other books and they are thick. Like, when I saw them in Dimmicks, they were thick, but I contained myself and just bought the first one to see if I like it. I've heard really good stuff. I know it's an enemies to lovers. What if you fall in love with the one you were sent to destroy? Ooh, I love that. Ooh, wait, is it pictures? There's like pictures on every like chapter. That's so pretty. I'm excited and I can't wait to get into the book. We'll see. I'm hoping this is dual POV. Is it dual POV? RN and... oh yes, it is dual POV. Next book that I want to read is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I have seen a lot on this book now and I don't really read sci-fi. It's just like fantasy and I do want to give sci-fi a try, so we are going to try Red Rising and if I love it I will add it to my cart until I finish my book buying ban and just buy the rest of the books. I have heard that the world building is a bit complicated, but we'll see what happens. I really like the cover though. It's like simple, but you know it's like sci-fi. And I have actually, if you guys have ever watched Dylan Is in Trouble, I love his commentaries, they're great. He one time actually recommended Red Rising and I was like, oh okay, like he raves about it. But then I saw Haley Pham read it and she loves it and she raves about it and I'm like, okay, now I really have to read it. The next book that I'm going to be reading is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I actually got this I think the day before the release date because QBD likes to sometimes bring out books before their release date, but there was like 2 copies there and so I got one and they're in great condition as well and I was like, yes, I now have it in my hands and I'm so freaking excited. Ooh, you know, for a big print you would think the writing is big. That's sad. But I have heard amazing things about it and I'm excited to read about 2 enemies writing with magical typewriters. The next book that I want to read, I'm actually going to read after I finish Count of Midnight because I do really need to read this. I got an arc of Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I kid you not, I was going to like start screaming, crying, throwing up. This is the first ever physical arc book I have ever gotten and I'm so freaking happy, but look how thick it is. Do we think I can finish this in 10 days? This is Cassandra Clare's new book that's outside of the Shadowhunters, if you know Cassandra Clare from the Shadowhunters. And I haven't read the Shadowhunters. Maybe if I really enjoy her writing I will buy the Shadowhunter Mortal Instrument Infernal Devices books. I am excited. We're gonna see how this goes. I love this cover. It is gorgeous. Like, look at that. But we're gonna try and read this. We'll see if we go. Even if I get like maybe halfway into this book, then I feel like that's okay, because I feel like I can start forming my opinions on the book and leave a review. The next book I want to read is kind of a romance. It's a paranormal romance, and I did read this author's second book that they have written in August, I'm pretty sure. Yes, and absolutely loved it, and so I decided to pick up the first book that this author's ever written, and that's been on my TBR for an extremely long time. And I feel like it's a great time to read this book because it's October. It's not autumn here or fall to you people that don't live in Australia or New Zealand. It's spring, but I feel like, you know, it's Halloween time, so why not? We're gonna try and pick up The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I loved The 7-Year Slip. It was so good. I rated that book 4.75 stars. I now have people over, but we're gonna finish this video. I don't remember what I was saying about this book. I don't know much about this book besides the main character is like a ghostwriter and she goes back to her hometown or something and she meets a ghost. Paranormal romance, so we'll see what happens. I've only put 6 books on my TBR, which is fine. I think that's like the most I put on my TBR anyways. The last book that I want to read for October is actually going to be a reread. This is the third book in the Throne of Glass series, which is Air of Fire. Can we talk about the bookmarks? I'll have them linked down below if anyone is interested in these bookmarks. They don't have any ACOTAR or Crescent City, I don't think, of yet. I feel like a lot of the time you see so much of ACOTAR. There's not much of Throne of Glass at all. I'm so happy there are bookmarks like this because I ordered all of them and they are gorgeous. When I finished the books, I put them back to where they were and I just put them on the shelf. I don't remember much of this book. Actually, I remember the ending. You get introduced to Manon in this book and I just didn't really care about her, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see what happens the second time around. Gideon's introduced into this book. I really do not remember much. 50% of the book I remember, the other 50% I don't. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. I know I didn't read a lot, but I'm trying to just not worry about how many books I'm reading in the month, like how fast I'm reading. Well, I do care about how fast I'm reading because I do want to finish books and read some other ones. I'm just wanting to read at my own pace right now. For anyone else, you read at your own pace as well. Like if you only read 1 book this month or you read 10, that's amazing. If you read 20, amazing. If you didn't finish a book this month or you didn't read a book, if you didn't read a book this month or you didn't finish one, that's still okay as well. Like it's not a competition. You read for your own enjoyment. You don't read to compete against others. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!